When you take a cruise, it's so easy for costs to build and for it to get really expensive really quickly. But did you know there are some things that you can take with you on your cruise from home that can actually save you money? In this video, I'm going to share with you what 10 of these things are. That's right, 10 things that you can take from home that will save you money on your cruise. Don't worry, you're not going to have to take a whole extra suitcase with you. Some of these things might be a lot easier than you think, and they might just save you a small fortune. If you enjoy this video today, and if you find it useful, which I really hope you will, then please think about supporting my channel by simply clicking both the thumbs up and the subscribe buttons. And if you've ever taken a cruise before, come down to the comments and let me know if I've missed anything when you get down to the end. Now let's get started with the first thing that you can take from home that can save you money on your cruise. You might not believe this, but it's alcohol. That's right, some cruise lines will allow you to take alcohol with you on your cruise. For some cruise lines, that means that you will be able to take a bottle of wine per person, per cabin or stateroom. For others, you might be able to take one bottle per whole stateroom or per whole cabin. If you get on the ship with the alcohol that you'd like to take from home, that can sometimes significantly reduce your bar tab on board. If I look at myself taking a short cruise from the UK, if I take that with a cruise line that will allow me to take a bottle of wine with me to enjoy in my cabin, I can sometimes find that I don't spend a great deal at all at the bar because I'm happy to spread that bottle of wine out over 3 or 4 nights on my cruise. I have taken cruises in the past where I've been able to take up to, for example, a litre of spirits, so I could take a gin on board with me and I would only have to pay for mixers while I was on the ship. But that now seems to be largely a thing of the past. I previously have put together a list over on my website of the positions that each cruise line has on this. I'll be updating it as we go along, so feel free to head down to the description of this video and you'll find a link to that article to check the stance of your cruise line. But yes, the first thing you could take that could save you money on your cruise is alcohol. Second, travel money. I meet so many people who decide to exchange their currency on the cruise ship, which means that when they arrive in port the following morning or later in the cruise, they've got local currency that they can head ashore and they can spend in cash. Now, while this is very convenient to exchange money on the ship, you're obviously going to pay for the convenience of that. The cruise line isn't going to offer you the best exchange rates for obvious reasons, but if you do want to have cash to spend throughout your cruise, then just head online or head to your local travel currency store before you cruise to get a much better deal. Most places that I cruise to, it's not really necessary to have cash nowadays, but I do understand why some people would feel better if they had it. You can also find in some countries where they accept multiple currencies, if you pay in their local currency, you can save a lot of money in some cases versus paying in the euro or the US dollar, for example. So yeah, if you want travel money, buy it before you go and take it with you from home, rather than doing it on board or when you arrive. Third, sunscreen, aloe vera, and or after sun. This one might sound obvious, so we're not going to spend too long on this, but I have been shocked over the years at how much these items can cost on cruise ships. I've been on some ships where a bottle of sunscreen can be well over $40 US. If I bought that at home and took it on the ship with me, I would expect to pay maybe a quarter of that price. So if you need any of those items, if you're cruising to somewhere sunny, make sure you pack them in your suitcase and take them to the ship. Do not buy them on board unless you absolutely have to. Number 4, refillable water bottles. If you followed me for a while, you'll know that I'm a huge advocate of refillable water bottles for a number of different reasons, but first and foremost, I hate the amount of waste that we seem to get through when it comes to water bottles, whether it be plastic bottles that go into the bin, or even worse, into the ocean, or even cartons of water. I get that the water industry is doing some huge things to make it a lot more sustainable, But in my opinion, when so many people could just go online and buy a refillable bottle that will last them for years, we shouldn't need to be getting through the amount of plastic that we are, for example. If you're looking for my top recommendation, then I use a brand called Chili's when I travel. Chili's bottles will keep my water cold for hours. I can pour chilled water in there first thing in the morning. I can then go ashore in 30 or 40 degrees Celsius heat. And when I take a drink later in the day after multiple hours, it's still really, really cold. If you're looking to buy a bottle, then you can actually do that through my Amazon store. If you'd like the link to that, then just head to the description of this video and you'll find that down there. Number 5, water shoes. This is something that I hadn't come across before I took my first Caribbean cruise, but it really surprised me, the cost of these water shoes online before I would cruise versus what I'd have to pay when I actually disembarked the ship in port. The cruise I took visited Jamaica, and while I was there, I visited Dunn's River Falls, which is one of the most popular attractions to go to when you're in Jamaica. At the point of my cruise, you weren't able to actually enter the water unless you were wearing water shoes. That meant that you had to buy them from a gift shop, which was on the way to the waterfall. And when I looked at the prices on Amazon when I got home, I couldn't believe how much I had to pay for a product that probably wasn't anywhere near as good. So whether you're cruising in the Caribbean and you want to go to water-related places, or even if you're cruising in Europe and you want to go to the beach and it's quite a rocky surface, water shoes will help you to get in and out of the sea. So jump online, buy your water shoes before you even think about packing your suitcase, and you'll save yourself some money. Number 6, speaking of water shoes and water equipment, let's talk about snorkeling equipment. If you want to get in the water and if you want to snorkel during your cruise, then you're going to want to buy your equipment to take it with you before you head to the cruise port. On one of my most recent cruises, I visited Great Stirrup Cay, which is the private island operated by Norwegian Cruise Line in the Bahamas. I was completely shocked to see that if I were to rent snorkeling equipment, it would actually cost me more than if I had just bought that equipment at home. And if I'd bought it at home, I would at least have it for X amount of time, whereas renting it, I'd have to give it back after 2 or 3 hours. So it doesn't really make sense to me to rent it for the same price that you could buy it for and then own it forever. So yes, if you do want to snorkel, it's so much cheaper for you to buy the equipment rather than rent it when you get there, especially if you're cruising as a couple or a family. I can't even imagine how much you'd have to pay on some of these islands to rent snorkeling equipment for a family of 4. Yes, just buy it before you go, if the price is right, and you can thank me later, hopefully. The 7th thing that you can pack to take from home that will save you money when you cruise is spare toiletries. This one is one that you might not have thought about, and to be honest, I hadn't thought about it until one of my most recent trips, when I really needed hair gel and I also really needed shaving foam. I could not believe the prices that cruise ships charge for these items. I've found that cruise ships aren't really like hotels where they will give you something from guest services to keep you going until the next port of call, because they have shops on board where you can go to buy toothpaste or toothbrushes or shaving creams, for example. So they'll direct you to the stores, and then you have to pay a real premium for the convenience of buying it on the ship. A few years ago, I spent an extended period of time on ships, so I essentially back-to-backed on cruise ships for about 10 months as a passenger. I found it incredibly difficult over that window to make sure that I always had enough toiletries with me to get through the next cruise or the next couple of cruises. And I would always find that when I was in port in Europe, I knew which supermarket chains I would want to go to at which ports to keep myself stocked up. So I would never advise buying toiletries from your cruise ship. If you absolutely need to when you get into port, head to a nearby supermarket and you will save so much money. But to be honest, I would just pack an extra toothpaste or pack an extra hair gel, and hopefully that will see you through the cruise. Number 8, and this one might make me sound a little bit British, but the 8th thing that I always take on every single cruise that can save me money on board is squash. This one is a no-brainer for me, and I take it on every single cruise without fail. I love drinking squash when I'm at home because it instantly turns a pretty boring glass of water into something far more interesting and also, in my opinion, far more drinkable. These tiny little squash bottles are available from most supermarkets in the UK, and they can often smash your bar bill on some ships. Now, a lot of these ships don't carry things like squash anyway. I've never ever faced any issues taking this stuff onto ships at any point. I don't think it would count as soda if I was abroad. I know some cruise lines don't like you taking soda on board, but I've taken these little things on every single ship and I've never had any questions asked because I guess at the end of the day, it's just a drink that helps you to flavour water. It's not really a drink in itself. So yes, I find that a huge one. So number 8, I always pack squash and it saves me, in some cases, quite a lot of money on board. The 9th thing that you can take from home that will save you money when you cruise is an eSIM. Again, this one is a no-brainer for me because when I cruise, I like to make sure that I can stay fully connected. I now need to because of what I do for work. eSIMs usually allow me to have unlimited data on land at a decent price, but they don't allow me to have full connections when I'm on the ships. For that reason, I might still have to buy cruise ship Wi-Fi, but depending on my itinerary, I can sometimes just pay for 24 hours of ship Wi-Fi because I'm comfortable with the fact that I can have almost unlimited data all of the time while I'm in port. That means that I can do what I have to do from a work perspective while the ship's in port, and then I can go offline, I guess, overnight when the data would be so much more expensive. If you are looking to purchase an eSIM for your future trips, then just head down to the description of this video where I'll link you over to an article that I put together on my website. Over there, you'll find my preferred provider and you'll also find a discount code for your next trip. So hopefully it can save you even more money. Now, shall we talk about number 10? Well, before we move on to that, if you are enjoying this video so far, then remember that the easiest way to support my channel is to simply click the thumbs up and subscribe buttons. And remember to come and let me know down in the comments what you think. Do you agree or disagree with any of these items? And is there anything that you would add? I'm sure that so many people out there would love to come down to these comments. So yes, I'll see you down there. If nothing else, come and say hello. The 10th thing that you can take on your cruise with you that will end up saving you money is your mobile or cell phone with the correct apps installed on it. Now bear with me on this one because there are so many different examples of apps that can save you money when you travel. I'm going to give you just one, but my challenge to you is to take a bit of paper and try and write down all of the apps that could save you money when you travel. When I started cruising, I was really surprised by how many cruise ports are not right in the heart of a town or a city. That would mean that I would leave the cruise ship, I would then find myself in a cruise terminal wondering how to get into the city. I could use a shuttle bus or I could try and find a public bus, or I could just go to the front of the terminal and I could hop in a taxi that would therefore mean I'd get into town. Now when I get in a taxi, I would then have to try and barter with the person driving to figure out how much it was going to cost. I'd then hope that the meter was running or that we had agreed a price in advance. And to be honest, it was stress that I just don't need when I travel. If I've got an app like Uber on my phone, then I can go onto the Uber app, I can tell it where I am, I can tell it where I'm going, and it will agree a price in advance. That means that we don't have that horribly awkward bargaining when we actually get in the car, and it's just so much easier. Now, Uber is just one app that can save you money when you travel, but there are so many more out there. And that's it. That's 10 things that you can pack to take with you on your cruise that can actually save you money. Come and let me know in the comments what you've thought of this video. And also, come and join me over in another if you have enjoyed this one. Over in this video, I share with you some of the things that it's really important that you check in your cruise ship cabin as soon as you arrive at it on day one of the cruise. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll hopefully see you over here next.